the humidity on the mirrors and things like that. Be a little warm. I think it said it's like the first time that we've been above the average temp in like, 3 weeks?
Based on my experience, that feels about right.
It's just been beautiful. I mean, not that this morning wasn't beautiful. Not that we knew that this wasn't coming. But we have a few days.
Well, it was false fall.
It was.
We've
But
made
I
it
tell
through
you what,
false
it's
fall.
almost like you got like, I feel like this time we're getting 2 rounds of it. I'm a guy that I will look ahead in the forecast because of things coming up. But I think it's like when you look, you get all the way, let's be hotter through Sunday. Then there's like a looks like maybe a storm coming through. Then the next week's back in the 70s.
See, I consider this is summer's dying breath we're in right now.
Summer's dying breath. It's like it's hanging on. It's like
it's hanging on.
It's like the Undertaker coming back.
And then,
or the wrestling move, and they used to hold your arm up.
So that's where we're at with summer.
Yeah.
And then real fall is going to hit us.
I just hope it's not like here and gone. I love fall. I was talking about this yesterday, about the seasons. I love all the seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, I didn't get that. I do hate winter.
But there is something that is needed about winter and your changing of the seasons.
There is.
Because what's special about Midwestern and specifically Nebraska seasons, and I promise we will at some point get into sports.
Oh, we are. There's a lot to.
I promise.
This is a very interesting day for people.
Yeah. But quickly here to finish up the season stock. There's always something to look forward to in your calendar when it comes to the Nebraska weather. Love it or hate winter, there is something special about that first snowfall.
I don't know what you define special for me.
It's the first snowfall of the year is beautiful. Hey, the kids get out of school, they're all excited. There's excitement abounds.
To me,
the rest of winter sucks because now you're looking forward to spring.
Yeah.
But I can look forward to once late fall rolls around, like we got Thanksgiving and Christmas coming up. Man, wouldn't it be special with some snow, with some winter weather? You look forward to that. And then you look forward to spring. And once spring is, you're like, man, I can't wait to get lake days at the summer.
Yeah, I know.
And then summer's here and it's like, 95 degrees, humid. You're out playing on baseball. I mean, like, I can't wait for football season in fall when it's 70 degrees and beautiful.
A couple of things for me, like when the winter, I hate winter. It's fine. It's documented, but I get anxiety because when it does snow, oh, the number of times I get the question, are we going to be out of school tomorrow? No, I don't know. I don't know. I hope not. Okay, that's one. Two, I do believe I had this conversation. Yeah, we were talking about this yesterday about seasons. There are certain seasons that you just get, at the end of the season, you get sick of it, right? But spring and fall, I never get sick of. A winter, you end up getting sick of. Summer, you get sick of, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I can get.
You get to the end, I get. Oh man, a dog days of summer, or
I can get. Sick
are we done being cold?
I can get sick of spring though. Some of those springs that are too rainy and they're overcast every single day, and you're like, man, why is it 65? I want it to be 85.
Yeah, the anticipation.
Yeah, so I can get sick of spring just a little bit, but the problem is those beautiful days of like early summer, like late May, early June, when it is 85 degrees and beautiful. They're few and far between, which is kind of like the beautiful days of fall. They're few and far between. Those days of fall that are between highs of 68 and 75.
Oh, you just.
Those are the days that everyone wants.
You don't want them to go away.
Round, you know. Want them to go away. But those days are so fleeting. You have like a week and a half of those type of days, and it's like, all right, high 52 degrees. It's gonna be cold. Welcome to October. Like you have like that 2 weeks the end of September where it's like actual perfect fall weather. Maybe a little bit into early October.
Oh, the weather. It just ebbs and flows of it. A lot to get to today. Marco D'Angelo, wagertalk.com. 4 college, 4 pro today. Not Nebraska today. If you're looking for that, you're not going to get it today. FCS opponent, we don't mess with it. But we will talk about Nebraska and that other school today. Also, we're going to get into, I think here in a minute, let's get into the college football power index update. I think that's interesting as you start to look at Nebraska's season and projecting out. Because obviously Saturday we know. We think we know. Right?
We should know.
We should know. We should know. I know I don't know if it's difficult, but having the conversations about a game that you should know the answer to, and trying to break it down, I will not probably talk at all or maybe mention Houston Christian that much because, again, it's another Saturday about Nebraska. It's, to me, I think number one is go take care of your business, get done, and get to Michigan healthy. Right? Don't mess around. Keep the momentum going. Whatever the halftime speech did, if that's what they needed to get going and moving on, that's where we got to go. I think you mentioned it. Saturday it's just a game. Maybe your starters just play half. And you just, it should be exactly what we saw last week. Maybe worse, right? 33-0. I don't know. 45, 49. I don't know. Something different to make it convincing that now it's time to see the twos. Get your quarterback, get TJ some extended minutes. Get your second line extended minutes. Get your rest, recovery.
There it is. Rest, recovery. Michigan's
Emmett Johnson, get out. Emmett Johnson, let's get, if we got to get, Emmett to a hundo, get him to a hundo. Get him out. Save legs.
Give him like 15 touches, Emmett. 12 carries, 3 receptions. Any more than that if the game's still in question. Uh-oh.
Yeah, you and I will be looking at things like we look at it before. You'll be watching O-line. What's the push like against Houston Christian? Do they continue that? D-line, what are they doing to get that? Is there someone else in the D-line that will step up into that like Cade did last week?
Does Archie Wilson play?
Does he play? No. No, probably not. He shouldn't. No, he needs to get some kicks in. I'm sure he's getting it in practice. Don't worry. But I think I would probably deem it success if he doesn't play again.
I think like one second half punt would be cool.
Maybe.
Get him as one.
Maybe. I don't know.
Like some sort of like penalty backs you up and you end up at you start out 1st and 25 after a 15-yard penalty and then it's 4th and 1 and you're up by 60 in the fourth quarter. So let's just punt it. Yeah.
But I think, like for me as a fan, maybe that perspective of what you're expecting on Saturday, I think it would be unsuccessful if he punted in the first half. You'd be like, what? Why are we punting in the first half?
We might have a freak out in the reaction show.
It's going to be ridiculous when you guys go on the air after the show with Tim Bob this week.
Mm-hmm.
ESPN's the index they put out, the FBI index. Have you seen the recent one?
It's got Nebraska at like what, 14?
12. I think that will get fans excited when you start looking at now what the projections are. They're at 12. And again, this has a master formula of number. I think we look at win totals, the projections now for Nebraska. It's got projected win-loss, win-out percentage, and then it has like division percentage, conference, all that, right? 6-win percentage. Right now, they got Nebraska up at 99.7% chance of winning 6. But I think when you start looking at this now, you're at 12. You're amongst the trees of Notre Dame, Auburn, Missouri, Utah, Texas A&M, LSU in that mix. That's your circle of trust right now. And they've got you projected 9.2 in the win. That number 9 has crept in to Nebraska's win total now.
It's essentially 9-3 is what they have.
9-3 is what you got yet.
Which, if that's what they have yet,
well, you're knocking on the door.
That's what I'm saying.
They're telling you right now, you could be knocking on the door as a potential. We're just talking like futures, right? A potential 9-3 Big Ten team knocking on the door of the playoff? Question mark.
Well, they give them a 27% chance, 27.3% chance of making the playoff. Now,
you're like, wait a minute.
Is this way too early to be having this conversation? Well, absolutely. There's been 2 games.
It is, but it's an interesting conversation as the totals have adjusted. Because remember preseason, when you look at Nebraska's win total was what? 7.5, 7, whatever it was, right? You get 2 games. To me, that shows there's a little bit of confidence in what's happening.
You've done what you were supposed to do.
Yes, which typical Nebraska teams have not done that.
Exactly. You've done what you're supposed to do. The FPI computer model still does lack a little context on this season.
Mm-hmm.
It could probably use about 2 more games before I start thinking it really knows what it's talking about, which is interesting because in 2 more games, we'll have a much better idea of what Nebraska is too whenever Michigan comes to town.
I think you're looking at that one game going, all right, we're going to figure like this week, here it is, but Saturday, show me what you're about on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
You come out of that thing with a win and you're 4-0 with a bye week going, and then you look at your remaining, what's in front of you after the bye week, you're like, ooh.
If you're 4-0, you're looking at Nebraska as a team they have a route to the playoff. If
Yes.
you're 4-0 after Michigan.
Yeah, you can start drawing the conclusions at that point.
You control your own destiny if you're 4-0.
Well,
take care of business against the teams you should beat. And even if you drop to USC and Penn State, take care of everyone else. You're in the playoff.
Well, you win that. You go 4-0. Then this win total projection is now 10-2 in that mix. And then you're talking about like mid-30s, maybe in the 40s, and making a playoff. Right now, if you look at it, you're in that mix. Again, you're out. These are the percentages when you look at it. And again, it's a 2-game sample size. Obviously, the high flyers are way up there. I mean, right now, it has USC, by the way, at a 61% chance of making the playoff. So take that for what it is when you look at it. Ole Miss is up in there and all that. But again, the conversation, like you said, there's a path. You go 4-0, there's a path. And you and I will be sitting here after that bye week or during the bye week going, all right, here's your roadmap to the playoff. Because coming out of the break, your schedule is not, did I see that they're going to be favored in all but like one game the rest of the season? If you look at the futures, Penn State.
And then I believe USC was also
close. Like it was like 1 or 2. It wasn't like
you're at home, so I think it was like 1.5.
But you're looking at a schedule if you get through. Like you're looking at a schedule right now that you're projected to be favored in a lot of football games. Does it make you a little worried when you start getting these conversations?
No. Why should it make you
worried? A lot of Husker fans are still out there. Just show me, prove it. Haven't done it in a long time.
It's the Husker PTSD talking to you. If you don't like Nebraska being successful, if it makes you more concerned, like Nebraska's going to go take care of business against Houston Christian this weekend. And I think is it T. Will in here saying we're not going to talk about the other team?
I can. You want me to break it down?
There's not much to talk about. We talked about him a bit on Monday.
I don't know. We did a little bit. I mean, I had somebody the other day tell me, and I'm not disrespecting them. I'm more focused on what Nebraska needs to do to check boxes for the rest of the season.
You're not paying Houston Christian all this money to come into town and put up a fight.
I'm not trying to disrespect them.
You're paying Houston Christian money to come in here because you owe them one. You had a satellite camp down at their field down in Houston. So you owe them one. They're coming up here. They're going to get some national exposure. They're going to get a big old check. They're going to get their butts kicked, and they're going to head on back to Houston.
I read an article the other day, and it's right here. I read it. I got it up, and it says that they added 30 transfers to replace nearly every starter. And they have a second year. I don't know. But that's somebody, so let's say, or Henry T. yesterday, he made a good point. He's like, they're going to have athletes. They're from Texas. I don't know. I haven't really looked. And right here it says they finished 5-7 last year. They had to replace 6 of its top 7 receivers and 3 of its 4 top rushers and its top 6 tacklers.
I believe so. They were Houston Baptist.
Yeah, and we don't know a lot about them.
Christian. I believe since they've refounded, they're still yet to have a season above 500. I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Because they refounded, I think, 5 years ago.
I mean, they got a quarterback. They returned none of their quarterbacks who threw a pass from last year. They do have a Mississippi State transfer who didn't appear in any games. But he's a grad. We have no sample size to what I assume that they're going to try to win this on the defensive side.
What is there? They don't have a game plan for winning this, I don't think.
I don't know.
Getting real, hoping Dylan Riley throws 4 interceptions. Like, not to be incredibly disrespectful, but like
they're -2 in the turnover. I don't even know. So I'm not, again.
I don't know what there is to say. I remember his App State's upset of Michigan. What was that? 20 years ago now, almost.
Yeah. I'm looking at the stat. Like, they got it all drawn out. I don't know.
Houston Christian is further down than App State. There's just not much to say.
I tell you what, if you can get after the quarterback, I see this. And again, there's a lot of stats broken down. He's dropped back 70 times, and when he's blitzed, he's 35%. Go get him. Go get him.
Well, there's our talk.
There you go. I don't know. For me, it's looking at where we still need to check the box. I think this is a unique game opportunity for Nebraska to get the twos in, get your ones that are work they got to get in, right? Figure out. Let's establish. I know on paper we're saying Nelson's number 2 running back. Let's establish who the 2 is going into Michigan, right? True your lineup. Make sure you got that done on the offensive side.
Well, to me, this
get Latif some more valuable and going all the way down to the third. Get your quarterbacks more valuable stuff.
To me, this is a week of physically. Did you really get tested against Akron? No, not really. You had to go out there and perform, but you didn't really get physically tested. Are you really going to get physically tested on Saturday against Houston Christian?
Probably not.
Probably not, and you can pull the starters out early. What this week is to me is it's a week where you can go balls to the wall at practice this week. Get your work in at practice. You don't have a big game this weekend to be ready for, so you can really, if you're Matt Rule, you can beat the guys up a little bit. If you're the guys, you can get after each other a little bit. You can get the work in now, so you're ready for Michigan when they come to town. That's what this week's about. And then you can get yourself out of the game early on Saturday, go out there, perform, get some of the backups, the third stringers in.
I mean, hopefully this is one of those games where
and you'll be healthy for Michigan. Yeah.
I mean, hopefully this is one of those games, one physically dominated. You heard the Rule message at halftime. Physically dominate it for 40 minutes. Don't let off, right? Show that still. I know it's 11 o'clock, probably a little late arriving type crowd, right? They'll be knee deep in Bloody Marys and whatever, ready to rock still. I'm hoping it's a game where you get your ones in. Dylan throws like less than 20 passes, and you're toting the rock 40 some odd times this week to really focus on what needs to get fixed. Not fixed, but trued up. I'm hoping Dylan's, I mean, maybe that's, I don't know. Maybe it's one of the, I hope he's not throwing it 40 something times. That means something else happened in a game like this. And get done and get healthy and go home and prepare yourself. Because one would assume and one would hope that's been going on. And Dane would tell you, Dane could probably tell you tomorrow, but games like this, your practice week has probably been all out, getting after it. Two's been getting a lot of reps probably, and you're installing for 2 weeks. Should be a cookie cutter performance to me. Score prediction this week, you're going to go 69-0 again, aren't you?
We'll see. I'll determine that tomorrow.
Well, good morning, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. Let's take a break. Let's come back. When we come back, we're going to talk about the slate of college football. Because there's some playoff defining games on that schedule that we can look at, and some coaches on those in these games. It might be the end for them after this weekend. Let's talk about that and a whole lot more when we return. Yeah, that was T yesterday. He's like, well, Houston, they got athletes. They might. I don't know. But if you're out there breaking down Houston Christian, you're doing God's work. Can you send it to us? That's wrong. I'm sorry. Boy, weird day for everybody. Hope everybody's doing okay out there today.
Very weird day.
Very weird. Heavy. 9/11 today. Boy, I can't believe that was 24 years ago. We'll come back. We'll talk about that in a minute. I think it's a moment in time. You know exactly where you are, what you were doing. You were what? How old though? Were you born?
Yes, I was born.
Okay. I can't remember how old you are. 25?
I was 2.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Yeah. I was 2. So I don't have any recollection. So I don't know exactly what I was doing. Probably crying.
Getting your diaper changed.
2, it could have been nap time.
At 2, you're probably eating some rice cereal. Yeah. Excuse me. Mm-hmm. Oh boy. You got me a little. What? I can't wait to hear what you're bringing us back with.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to.
Oh, I was going to send you one. We don't have time to send. I don't know if it's. I'll send you one. Let's see if it's. Why am I typing that in? I know what your name is. I'll just send you the name of the artist. We have to play.
Come back.
All right.
I guess I grew up on an older road. A pedal to the metal, always did what I told. Until I found out that my brand new clothes.
Welcome back in the morning hookup. Happy Thursday. Yeah, heavy day. Not to get into all of it in emotions, but a heavy day for a lot of people in our country. Obviously, 9/11 today, 24 years ago. Never forget. Lots of thoughts and prayers with families out there today that have been affected by it or were affected by it or continue to be affected by that tragedy. Mm-hmm. And other tragedies that have happened in our world, like in the last 24 hours, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, because it's not just those tragedies, it's internal tragedies, it's your own personal tragedies. Thoughts are everybody are with those stuff today. I remember this 24 years ago. No kids. I didn't have kids until 2007. I was in my world. I was in the another restaurant life of mine. It was in the bees business. I was working. I was trying to cut my teeth in the business, and married at the time, like a year, and we worked opposite schedules. I was a younger kid, and I was working. I closed 5 nights a week. So I was going in at 2 or 3, depending on the day, and getting home at like 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. Stace would wake up. She'd wake up. Like I would come home at that time, still wired from working, and I would play. I know what I had it back then, an Xbox or whatever it was. I just game for hours. Then I'd wake, and then she'd go to work at 8. She worked in the office. Remember being there and getting a call. Like all I heard was her calling. Like kind of in tears, going, "We're under attack," and turning the TV on, and that's where I was. Of course, the phone rang. I'm like, "Why are you calling me? This is my sleepy time." So, but did this the moment in time where you remember exactly what was going on? No, you were 2,
yeah,
but I'm sure you, as an historian, a lover of history, you've gone back.
Oh yeah, and one of the things
relived it And I think it's amazing the tributes that go out. I try every year to go back and watch when they go through all the names at Ground Zero and the families that are still there. It's touching. It's an amazing tribute to a very tough time in our country.
And one of the things that stands out is the way that we as a country came together after that day. And I think in light of recent events that we're all aware of here yesterday, it's interesting to see how, in the light of national tragedy, we all came together at a time 24 years ago, I should say, and just came together as a country. One of the things that stands out about that day.
Just continue to remember those coming together moments, because I think that's what not getting away into this country needs that.
Mm-hmm.
Put your guards down. Quit thinking about it. Come together.
We're all more similar than different.
Yes, we are. Boy, I think that a lot of things that aren't similar. The top 25 teams, there's only 25 of them. But there's a few games this week that I think you should have your attention on. Not to deflect that we played 11 o'clock, okay? But I'm telling you right now, as a fan, here's what I'm thinking about myself. I got my Saturday slate. I'm going to be downtown by 7:30ish. I'm going to go to the game. I'm going to cheer. I'm going to do everything I normally do. I'm hoping, not that I want a discount, because I don't take it for granted that I get to go to every home game because I'm a season ticket holder. This guy might be gone by mid-third. I want to go watch some games.
And
then I got to get home. I got to get settled in because I got Crawford Canelo that night.
I'm going to be honest with you. If my job was not covering Nebraska football every single day,
You wouldn't be doing it this Saturday.
I'll just say I would be casually watching Nebraska and Houston Christian and probably more intently watching Clemson at Georgia Tech.
Now, but I would encourage you guys, stay the game, go. It's a great time for fans to get out there. If you don't get a chance to go to the game, and tune into the Real Red Reaction right after, because Elijah and Schmitty and Tim Bob are going to bring you great stuff.
Or if you're one of those people out there who goes to every game and you have no interest in going to this game,
pass them out.
Find some people out there that don't often get the chance to go to a Husker game and give them the chance to go to a Husker game.
Yes, let them experience the thrill.
Everyone, I'll never forget how special my first Husker game was.
I still remember mine, and mine was in 2001. No, like 2001 when I moved here.
Mine was in, I think it was 05. And my dad was not the type that was going to be shelling out money on Husker tickets for his little kids, you know?
No, it was like, whatever. I got one.
My dad's like, the view is just as good on TV. I don't need to go spend all this money. And we got gifted some free tickets from a family friend. It was Nebraska, I believe Nebraska, Texas Tech. Nebraska lost that football game, but I'll never forget walking out the tunnels in North Stadium right in front of a pretty new Jumbotron. And seeing, it was like the student section way across the way in the South. Everyone knows how early Husker fans show up, but seeing that side of the student section and everyone filling in around the student section as well and being like, oh, this is why it's the Sea of Red. Doesn't look like this on TV. Like it stood out walking out of that tunnel, like, oh yeah, it's a Sea of Red. I'll never forget that moment. So
yes.
There's a special moment out there for somebody.
Yes, and help them live that moment.
Exactly.
I remember mine to this day. I knew who we played and everything. By the way, we opened up that year. It was 2001 or mid-August, late August. We were number 4 in the country. TCU. It was back then. It was called the Pigskin Classic or something like that. 21-7 victory. Then it went back. I don't know. I remember my wife. They've had tickets in the family forever. Yes, they pay donations. They're not one of those. Sorry. Side note. Because like, oh, you're one of those.
The grandfather club.
Yeah, you're not one of those. No. But I remember her like, hey, we're going to the game. We have to. I'm like, sure. Like, I grew up in basketball country. I watched college football, but I grew up in basketball country. But I remember, like, I want to say the game was like, I don't know, it wasn't earlier. I don't know. She woke me up like 8 hours before I wanted to wake up. I'm like, well, game's not until. The hell are we doing? I got downtown. We parked, and we didn't have people we hung out with at that time. We just didn't. I was mesmerized by the red down there so early. And I was immediately to the date of that's 24 years ago. I've missed 2 home games in that time slot now. It grabs you. What also is going to grab you is the interesting games this weekend that have playoff implications.
That being said, 11 a.m., Clemson at Georgia Tech.
My gosh, you can't, you don't get past the slate, then you get right there. That's got everything you need to know.
I love that game.
That is, and I got goosebumps. That's an amazing game because Clemson not looking the part right now. Take the early loss. Look, ho-hum against Troy. Troy had you beat up. And an upstart like Georgia Tech coming in at 2-0. You got to go to Atlanta to play this game. There's so much going on in this game because Clemson has not looked the part. They lost game 1. They underwhelming game 2 against Troy. Georgia Tech, boy, coming up. They low confidence building. You're at home. You're 2-0.
It's something we talked about preseason. That offense under Coach Key,
tough.
Haynes King at quarterback. It is a tough offense to prepare for because of the variety of ways that they get the ball in the hands of their skill players. They're playmakers. They find ways to get the ball in their hands in very, very creative ways. It's a tough offense to prepare for if you're Clemson.
Georgia Tech, not the favorite. They're getting 3 points in this game right now.
They're at home.
At home.
Yeah.
Interesting one there. I think also one. I mean, there's some other interesting ones, but let's talk about
Big Noon kickoff is completely uninteresting
at all.
Oregon at Northwestern.
Don't care. Oregon's going to score 70.
The line is Oregon 27.5. I think
you lay them.
That feels very, very low.
Yep, you lay them.
The only thing is, could it be trap game for Oregon? Feeling too good about yourself after Oklahoma State. Now it's your first true road trip to one of the least imposing road venues in the Big Ten right now.
I think
it's a bring your own juice type of game.
Yeah,
on the shores of Lake Michigan is cool, but they have 5,000 fans.
I've been there when they actually had their stadium. And it was
It's always been a bring your own juice type game.
yes.
But I believe in the culture of Oregon and Coach Lanning to think that Oregon should not have any issues against Northwestern.
No, not at all. I think another one that's interesting just by the topic of the two teams is Wisconsin, Alabama.
Yep.
Can Alabama get right? Can what's going on at Wisconsin? I think quarterback maybe out, injury. I don't know. That's a 3-touchdown spread for Alabama. Wisconsin fans aren't going to take too kindly that if they go down there and get their butt whooped, which is possible at Alabama. Can Alabama change their narrative a little bit? Georgia, Tennessee.
That's a good game.
Like that's ABC 2:30. Plan it out accordingly, folks. That's going to be a good one. How about then 3:30 right after it? You got South Florida, Miami.
Yeah, that South Florida team. Hey, if they win this game, they're going to run the table.
They will run it. But they've got
I already
their
think,
road is already mapped out for them to the playoff, by the way.
Even if they lose this game, if they win out, they're a playoff team.
Mm-hmm. Question, this game Marco will break down for us here in a little bit. Florida LSU. Boy, Billy Napier. Boy, does he survive? Don't know.
Have you seen the upcoming stretch of games for Florida?
Don't know. It does not look pretty for them coming off that.
Have you seen their schedule upcoming?
A little bit. I don't remember. Let's go through it.
Okay.
So they got to go. They got to go to the Tiger Stadium, which is not good. It ain't going to fare well.
Coming up, they're at Miami on Saturday.
Oh boy.
I'm sorry, at LSU this Saturday.
Yeah.
At Miami the following Saturday. They have a bye week, and they're home against Texas.
Yay! Bye week. Get ready for Texas.
If you're counting, as it stands right now, that is 3 consecutive top 10 opponents. And then the following week, they're at A&M.
Which, by the way, that's tough. But the other game in there, it pertains to A&M. A&M Notre Dame.
That's a good game.
That is a must-win for Notre Dame.
You could argue it's a must-win for
A&M too.
For
but
A&M
like
too.
if the path of Notre Dame gets pretty bleak, like or their window of opportunity gets smaller to make that playoff with their upcoming schedule.
a 10-2 Notre Dame is going to be hard pressed to make it in. They still have some all right matchups coming up. Purdue and Arkansas, at least they're Power 5 opponents.
Yeah.
They got USC at the end of October.
Which by then USC could be a top 15 win.
Yeah.
The way they're playing.
That USC team looks like they have things figured out this year,
Mhm.
but they haven't played anybody, so
Yep.
I'll give it a second.
Yep.
But aside from A&M, USC, maybe Arkansas, there's not many games there. That
Not a
move the
lot of
needle for you.
opportunities. Like so a
Ne-
big time win would propel Notre Dame for sure.
10-2 with a win over USC, but losses to A&M and Miami.
Yeah.
Does
They're
that
probably-
schedule move the needle for you?
They're gonna get the nod because it's Notre Dame.
I don't know.
I think another really good game, which Marco's going to break down for us. Vandy, South Carolina. Always a good game. That'll be a good one. South Carolina currently favored in that one at home.
How about, do you like the After Dark game at all? Big Ten After Dark? Minnesota at Cal. 9:30 kickoff on ESPN. I kind of like that. Minnesota's a 3-point favorite.
No. What time does it start?
9:30.
I'll be in fight mode by then.
I'll have it. I'll have the fight on the TV and that game on my phone probably.
We'll be in fight mode.
I'm interested. That's we'll see how good Minnesota is this year.
That is what I would call the back half of the marathon that I'm running on Saturday. That is like that's that second win you're trying to get. Like I've never ran a marathon, but I assume around like mile 20. You're like, how am I going to get through this? That's about where I think half the Nebraska will be in about that time. Getting fired up for Bud.
One more game under the radar because it's not on a big network. It's on SEC network. Vandy at South Carolina.
Yeah, that's when I think it's amazing.
I want to fly under the radar this week.
Chippy. Marco breaks that one down for us. 3 of the games we've talked about, we alluded to, he's breaking down this week. That A&M, Notre Dame, Florida, LSU, Vandy, and South Carolina. We'll get his takes on that. Big Ten slate, not great this week when you look at it. I mean, I feel like the Big Ten slate it looks like a way for teams to get right, possibly. week for teams when you look at Nebraska getting there. Indiana's got Indiana State. I'm interested in this one as well. I think it's New Mexico UCLA, just to see if UCLA what they got going on. Underwhelming in 2 weeks, right? Will there be flashes? What's the Michigan response coming back, having a home game? They got Central Michigan. I don't know. USC is probably going to they're up 21-point favorites against Purdue. UMass and Iowa. Yay. That one nobody cares about.
Will there be more punts from Nebraska on Saturday or passing touchdowns from Iowa?
Passing touchdowns if they throw it.
You think?
We're not going to punt that much. I don't want to punt.
Iowa's not going to score that many passing touchdowns this year, I don't think.
Yucky game.
Yeah,
yucky.
Outside of the games that we've listed, it's a yucky college football Saturday.
It really
But we've
is.
been spoiled. We've been spoiled
really
early in this
Yeah,
season.
I think, they spoiled you like week one, just put you on the back, right?
Well, let me be clear here. With all the talk of off-season college football, man, the game's in a rough spot. Man, NIL paying players is ruining the game. This transfer portal thing, it's ruining the game. All this money from the TV partners, it's ruining the game. It's not the college football I knew and loved. Guess what? The game of college football from an entertainment standpoint has never been in a better place.
Oh my gosh. Absolutely.
Totally agree. The early season games that we have are incredible. The level of play we have on the field is incredible.
Yes.
These matchups we're getting, incredible. Like everything about college football, every single week is better than it ever has been before. That's the weird. I do think the portal is really, really tough for college football programs. The amount of money flying around to players, it's awesome they're getting paid, but it's changed the game completely. That being said, all this off-season drama that we have, playoff expansion, conference realignment, all of this.
It's much-watched TV.
It's led to the must-watch product that we have.
Yes.
Some people say it didn't used to be every Saturday. It is now every single Saturday. There is must-watch college football on your television.
There is. They're going to give you doses of a good matchup. But I think real college football fans pay attention, know enough about it, go find those matchups. Don't always click on the top 25 to see a good matchup, right? Don't always do that. Look for different styles out there, different conferences. Start dig. What I think they've done a great job with in college football, the scheduling side of this, is giving you early drama games. Like we're sitting here talking about Notre Dame. Like this is a massive game in their second game of the year. You're talking about a Clemson team who I sat here and said, boy, we thought they were underrated.
Yeah.
And they've looked awful. What is that? Like there's drama there. Georgia Tech. And they like some of us, I don't know, maybe YZ or you, like they had Georgia Tech winning the ACC and when we picked our predictions.
I think that was
YZ. I think you like Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
You know?
It's
so much fun.
If they win this weekend,
oh boy,
it's their ACC to lose probably.
Oh my gosh, because what is their slate before we take a break? Like
Georgia Tech.
That is the fun part that we get to do is start looking at those slates. Let's see here, Georgia Tech.
They got Clemson, Temple, Wake Forest, Virginia Tech, Duke, Syracuse, NC State, Boston College, Pitt, and they finish the season.
Boy, you see a path of success
if they win this game. If they win this game, I could see them running the table in their ACC slate.
Like their next test would be at Puke, possibly. Don't know. Puke just got kind of beat up by Illinois.
Well, it was all they don't let the final score.
That was a great game until it was
a whole bunch of self-inflicted errors by Duke that led them to lose that game by as much as they did. I think Illinois is probably a better team by 7 to 10 points. It wasn't what the final score indicated, but that's a type of game that can take the wind out of your sails. Whereas if Georgia Tech beats Clemson, they're going to be flying high.
Boy, good stuff. All right, let's take a break. We're going to keep the football theme rolling because it is Thursday night.
Great Thursday night game.
Yes, there is. Great Thursday night. And we'll look at the entire slate of NFL when we come back.
I also have some great food plans coming up for Thursday night football tonight.
Let's go.
Mark that down.
Thursday night football. All right, we'll be right back. I tell you what, so far, and I haven't looked at the entire Amazon Thursday night schedule. They're giving us 2 good ones so far. Whatever
if I'm being honest here, I just know that we got to enjoy Thursday night football now while it's good, because Thursday night football will at some point reach atrocious levels this year.
Yeah, I know.
There's one thing that is true, and that is these teams playing on as short as a week as you get with Thursday night football, it doesn't lead to good product. I am sick and tired of Thursday night football. Because it's not because I don't like having football on Thursday night.
Yep.
It is because having teams play on 3 days of rest always leads to bad product. You get minimal prep time for an offense. Mm-hmm. You have guys that are still beat up from the previous Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
It just does not lead to a good quality product. We have a Monday night doubleheader this week. I wish there was a Monday night doubleheader every single week instead of Thursday night football.
I could get down with that.
Monday night football is a better product because teams have an extra day to get healthy, an extra day to prepare, and losing 1 day of prep is not as bad as losing 3 days of prep.
And my wife wouldn't think it's just because it's an Amazon night that it's shopping night.
So enjoy a good Thursday night football game while you can, because by the time October and November rolls around and teams are beat up and now they're doing it on 3 days rest.
I'm going to look that up.
I mean, you have a lot of guys that say, like NFL vets, that say whenever Thursday night football rolls around, like Thursday is the day where they are finally back to somewhat feeling like themselves. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, they're still beat up from Sunday. Monday especially.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's days off of rest.
And whenever you got Thursday night football, usually Monday's a day off for NFL teams. When you have Thursday night football, Monday's a practice day. It's going to be a light practice, but it's going to be a practice day.
Mm-hmm. Thursday night.
You got to lock in Tuesday and Wednesday. It's the schedule of a Thursday night football game for an NFL team is why Thursday night football is such a gross product so many times.
Let's see what
I've been yelling that from the rafters for years, but people like watching football on Thursday night too much.
It's like their weekend is getting started. It ain't bad. We'll go through that. This is like an interesting Thursday night schedule.
Also, I know we had Ernesto on the line. I'm not seeing him there anymore. So, Ernesto, if you're still listening, give us a call back. We'll get to
brother.
You. I'm not sure if that was on our end or on your end, but.
Huh. I am on schedule with you on the Thursday night stuff.
Oh, we're coming back here. I don't have a song.
Oh,
let me figure that out.
Oh.
I'm just going to give us another 30 seconds. The computer picked a heck of a time to freeze here.
Uh-oh. If we had Chase here, he could sing us back into the break, out of the break.
Come on, computer. I guess we have to move another 30 in.
You want me to get my phone out?
One more 30. The computer is frozen. I don't know what to do. Okay, here we go.
All right.
It's back.
Yay.
And now I don't know what's going on.
Share the YouTube with your friends. You'll get all this backstage content. Welcome back in the morning hookup. Thanks for hanging out with us on a Thursday. Few moments left in a fast, fun, moving first hour. We were talking Thursday night football. We'll get to that in a minute. I'm sure we got our guy from down south giving us a call right now. But, boy, tonight you're going to get Amazon Prime Night, Commanders, Packers from Lambeau Field. Boy, Packers currently favored in the game. We're going to talk about that game a little bit. Marco's going to break down that game too.
But first, let's go to the phone lines.
Let's go there. Ernesto, what's up?
Not much, guys. USF, man, I'm rooting for them. The only thing I miss is the war on I-4. It was UCF versus USF, and it was always a fun matchup. Miss it.
Mm-hmm. Well, UCF's come a long way from the Charlie Strong days, haven't they?
No doubt, no doubt. I'm rooting for them to run that table. I think they're going to take Miami out straight up.
Well, that'd be awesome.
It's going to be a great game.
That would be. UCF football assistant offensive line coach Sean Clark had a medical emergency at practice. Everybody pray for him.
Yep, absolutely.
And I also wanted to ask you guys if y'all read the article from Max Olson and Josh Peterson about how Nebraska can really finish with a flurry in 2025. A lot of wins.
I've seen that.
I know you guys kind of already alluded to it. You guys should be writing articles, I think, in my opinion. But sleeper for the Jags, fantastic addition, Jordan Lewis. Out for him, Ryan, it's time for the jagulation. And then one more thing. At 2 years old, you know what Elijah was doing? He was making candles and crafting soups. Woo!
That's where it all started. Young pictures of a young Elijah.
I'd like to think so.
What are you got Thursday night? Again, I know we talked about Thursday night football. Not a big fan of it based on the mechanics to get to there for the teams. And because typically you don't get a good product or it's slow moving for a while. But you do get an opportunity to make some food.
Yeah. Well, do you know what's going on at home right now?
Oh, you got something smoking or brewing? What we got?
I got a chicken stock simmering. It's been simmering all night. Added some water, topped it off this morning.
Okay. What are we using it for?
Chicken tortilla soup.
Oh, God, just some tortilla strips, a little dollop of sour cream.
A little dollop of sour cream, a little chopped cilantro on there. Are you a cilantro guy or are you one of those people?
I am a cilantro guy.
Okay.
I like it.
Some people think it tastes
That's
like soap.
Unique.
They're wrong.
That either you hate it. That's one of those you hate or you like.
Well, apparently they say there's some like gene within you that makes it taste bad. I just think you're soft.
Sorry about that.
I just think you're soft. If you
Sorry,
don't like cilantro.
cilantro snobs.
No,
Ooh, that sounds good. Tortilla soup sounds good.
Yeah, so I'll have that rocking tonight with the homemade chicken stock, which should be delicious. I smoked a chicken yesterday just for the stock, which the chicken turned out delicious. So I got a whole bunch of chicken sitting in the bag to go in the soup.
You had a good productive day off.
In a way. Oh, it wasn't a full day off. I was still here all afternoon.
It was enough.
But it gave me time in the morning. Went to the store, got myself a chicken, got it all ready to go. Get that skin dried out throughout the day so it crisps up better whenever you're cooking it. You know what I'm talking about? You get a little salt on there, throw it uncovered in the fridge. Let it really draw the moisture out of that skin. There's a secret to you. I feel like that skin, it's less rubbery if you let it dry out throughout the day in the fridge.
Now I'm like kind of debate on like so weird. I just got a text from my wife's like, "What are we doing for dinner?" Well, I don't know. Elijah's making a big pot of chicken tortilla soup.
So that's midday. I'll be straining out my chicken stock, making sure it's all ready to go. You get out the fine mesh strainer and try to clarify it just a little bit. And
mouth water.
It's tortilla soup time, which some of my soups I don't like as, what's the right way to put it? You know how as thick, you know how chili you get it nice and thick. And some people like some soups are meant to be much more thin. A chicken noodle soup.
Thin.
Based on stock.
Thinner, yes.
My chicken tortilla soup.
Hearty.
That's hearty. Hearty's the right word. Hearty. That's the word I'm looking for.
I like a good hearty chili.
Yep.
Is it too hot to do chili today?
Nah. I was worried about that on Monday. Yeah, it's not a concern.
Because I can totally whip that up.
Turns out chili is delicious all the time. But Thursday night football. Packers Commanders.
I think the Pack are head and shoulders above everybody that in the NFC.
I don't want to overreact to one game against the Lions where they have new coordinators. This should be a really good game tonight.
I think so.
It should be a really good game tonight. I think I'm on the Packers, I think.
How do you control how do you control the quarterback? That'll be their number one focus in that one.
I think I'm on the
Green
Packers.
Bay is good, and I like them at home.
Micah Parsons with another couple days of prep.
Yeah, I like them at home.
Utilize them more. Yeah.
The crowd at Lambeau will be a factor. It's going to be fun to watch. So, all right, we're going to take a break. Speaking of games, when we come back, Marco D'Angelo is going to break him down for college and for pro, and he'll have the Thursday night game. Sit back, relax. Elijah and I will be right back after the break.
Imagine what you could drive. A sleek new SUV, a sporty coupe, or that family ride with all the bells and whistles. At Liberty First Credit Union, auto loan rates start as low as 4.49% APR for 49 to 60 months on 2020 or newer models. With no prepayment penalties, low monthly payment options, and local financing, you're in the driver's seat from the start. Apply today at libertyfirstcu.com and imagine the possibilities.
Credit factors apply. Rates, terms, and conditions subject to change.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
If your watch has stopped running and you don't know why, stop by the Time Shop. If the problem is just a battery, we can replace it while you wait. If there are additional problems, we can give you a repair estimate on the spot. And all work is done right in our store, so you never have to worry about losing your trusted timepiece. From Grandpa's old pocket watch to today's modern quartz movements, we do it all. I'm Dave Wolf. We've been repairing watches since 1970. The Time Shop, next to McDonald's, 6450 O Street, Lincoln.
Acres Fall John Deere Super Sale event is underway. Our complete inventory of John Deere equipment is marked down to sell. From large ag equipment to compact tractors and gators, Acres has something for everyone. And don't miss our State Fair Harvest Days parts and merchandise sale in Grand Island. Special in-store discounts and incentives are available. Visit our Grand Island location at 4050 West Stolly Park Road and see what Acres has to offer. Visit acres.com for all the details. Offer ends September 13th, 2025.
It's not always the size of the hailstones, but the wind speed and the age of the roof, which result in damage to residential roofing. This is Matt Berkey with Golden Rule Contractors. Hail of any size can do damage if the wind gusts are high enough, and older, more weathered roofs are susceptible to damage. If there's been wind or hail in your area, contact Golden Rule Contractors at grclincoln.com for a free estimate. We'll treat your home as if it were our own.
Great attendance builds great students. Hi, I'm Tim Royers, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. Being in class every day matters, from learning new skills to building confidence. Even one missed day can mean missed opportunities to grow and succeed. So let's build strong habits early. Show up on time every day, because success starts with being there. Let's raise the bar together for our kids and their future. Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this
Lincoln's local news, talk, sports, and weather station. FM 101.5, 1240 AM, KFOR, and KFRX HD3, Lincoln. From ABC News. I'm Mike DeBusty. Investigators are still working to identify the person who shot and killed Charlie Kirk yesterday. They now say they've recovered a bolt-action rifle, which they believe the shooter used yesterday, firing a single shot from the roof of a nearby building while Kirk was speaking to a group of college students at Utah Valley University. Bo Mason with the Utah Department of Public Safety.
After the shooting, we were able to track his movements as he moved to the other side of the building, jumped off of the building, and fled off of the campus and into a neighborhood.
Mason now says they're combing through video doorbell footage in an effort to track the movement of the suspect, thought to be a college-age individual. Charlie Kirk was a prominent conservative voice and founded the youth organization Turning Point USA. ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy has how Washington is now responding.
The Senate Minority Leader says America is suffering from an affliction of political violence.
And coming together is what we ought to be doing, not pointing fingers of blame.
Chuck Schumer's remark was a response to President Trump's online video, in which he said the rhetoric of the, quote, radical left is directly responsible for recent deadly violence. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries.
Political violence in any form against any American is unacceptable, should be denounced by everyone. And moving forward, we have to figure out a better way to come together.
Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
President Trump, meanwhile, now saying Kirk will posthumously receive the Presidential Medal of Freedom. The president just returned to the White House from his September 11th remembrance event at the Pentagon.
Today, as one nation, we renew our sacred vow that we will never forget September 11th.
It's one of many ceremonies taking place across the country today. The latest consumer price index finds inflation is nearly 3% higher than it was this time last year. You're listening to ABC News.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code COOL to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code COOL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code COOL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Remembering the victims of the 9/11 attacks. Good morning. I'm Jeff Moats. We're at 74 degrees at KFOR. Also, a reminder that ABC News will have top and bottom of the hour updates the rest of the day on KFOR regarding the assassination of conservative political activist Charlie Kirk. Going on right now, a special Patriot Day observance at the Veterans Memorial Garden in Antelope Park to honor the first responders who died in the line of duty on September 11, 2001, when terrorists struck the United States. The 9/11 remembrance ceremony is including members of the Veterans Memorial Garden Advisory Council posting a wreath by the post-9/11 monument, the reading of those names on that monument, and some brief remarks. To honor and remember the first responders who died in the line of duty 24 years ago today in those September 11th terrorist attacks, Lincoln Fire and Rescue, they're holding the active service blood drive going on until 1 o'clock this afternoon outside Fire Station 1 at 18th and Q.
The idea behind this initiative is to transform the anniversary of 9/11 from a day of tragedy into a day of doing good. And this has been a national effort for quite some time.
LFR Public Information Officer MJ Lerman says by participating in the active service, they will uphold their commitment to never forget. And there's a link in the Lincoln News section at KFORnow.com to where you can sign up to donate blood. Lincoln police arrested a man for allegedly violating a protection order on Wednesday at a home in the South Bottoms area.
Probable cause was developed for the arrest of 30-year-old Lincoln resident Brandon Taylor.
Lieutenant Jason Goodwin tells KFOR News investigators confirmed Taylor was inside the home and a brief standoff ensued that lasted for about an hour. Goodwin says Taylor surrendered himself to police, was taken into custody and put in jail for one count of violating a protection order. Nobody was hurt during the standoff. Lincoln's first forecast today, mostly sunny and a high of 86. Tonight, partly cloudy, a slight chance of late-night thunderstorms, low of 68. Sunny tomorrow and a high of 92. Husker game day Saturday, sunny and a high of 91. Right now, 74 degrees in Lincoln. I'm Jeff Moats, KFOR News.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
Attention! Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. Or take out a consolidation loan, and you may have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-399-70.
This is the Morning Hookup on KFOR.
Welcome back in the Morning Hookup, hour number 2. Bill Hooks, Elijah Herbal. Thanks for hanging out with us. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Greg. Coming up, Marco D'Angelo, WagerTalk.com. You guys, I just got a great text from my wife. Like, you ever had these moments? Like, these are real moments. I think as you get older, maybe it's a forgetful moment. Because in our world, we're creatures of habit with our kids. We have a college kid doing their own thing. We have a freshman in high school that gets picked up at a certain time every morning. I take our 11-year-old, our 6th grader to school. And then, like, you're just used to, like, cookie cut. Boom, you leave at this time, you get it this time, move it on. This morning was a little odd because freshman's ride had to go early. So my wife had to get up, God bless her, and take him to school. She gets back home. She walks in. She just texted me and she walked out of the garage. She goes, what's my car doing in the middle of the garage? She forgot that she left and walked out and didn't know what happened. Didn't know what happened. So it's kind of that moment where like, oh, I forgot I did that. Did you call the wrong number? The landline. So just a moment. You just giggle about the things you forget because you get in your world and you just like cookie cut the way you get through life. So I just laughed at her. I can imagine just walking in and going, whoa, my car, it's not in the right spot. We got Marco. Here you go. Marco D'Angelo, wagertalk.com. Marco, what's up?
Just another week, guys. Another week.
Your savior is in Pittsburgh, Aaron Rodgers.
We'll find out a little later if I'm drinking the Kool-Aid or not.
Thought you might be grabbing a jersey already. It's that time.
Well, I already have a jersey that's got a number 8 on it. I just got to get some duct tape and cross out Kenny Pickett.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, Marco, we got some electric stuff. College football and the pros, they never put us in a moment where we're not going to enjoy some games. And right now we've got a big-time matchup, a couple ranked teams. One, I think, needs a win in this one, and that's their first home game. You got A&M headed to Notre Dame.
Yeah, guys, I like the fact that, Notre Dame, they had that opening week game. They lost at Miami. It was a tough game. It was a back-and-forth game. Either team could have really won that game, but the difference in that game come down to 2 Notre Dame turnovers because, as I said, the yardage was basically even. I like that they had last week off. So often I always, come on here and I tell you sometimes a team can lose the same game twice. Well, the fact that they got that week in between, I think we don't have to worry about that with Notre Dame. And it gives Coach Marcus Freeman that extra week to clean some things up. A&M, this is a team that, they're 2-0 already, but look at who they played. They played 2 cupcakes. The concern for me with Texas A&M is even though that they played 2 cupcakes, they did allow 203 yards rushing to Texas San Antonio. That's a big concern because if Notre Dame can get their running game going, it's just going to open up everything else. We also see that A&M has struggled when they've been away from College Station. Last year, they were 2-3 on the road, and going back the last 12 games when they've either been a true road game or a neutral site, Texas A&M is just 3-9 against the spread. I'm going to go ahead and take Notre Dame. I know some people might want to play the revenge card because Notre Dame did beat Texas A&M last year. But how many times have I told you that's the most overused term in sports betting? There are some times that I do look at it, and I always say, if it's a team that ended your season, you're going to remember that and have that one circled. But they played in the first week of the season last year. I'm not going to play the revenge angle. I'm going to take Notre Dame. I'm going to lay the points, and we're calling it Notre Dame 31-20.
Yeah! It's Marco D'Angelo with us here, wagertalk.com, taking you through some of the games of the weekend. And Marco, also in college football, Florida at LSU. Florida's reeling after a loss to South Florida. LSU, they finally have some early season struggles out of the way under Brian Kelly. They're off to a hot start. What do you like here?
Well, rumor is that Billy Napier is a little bit tired because he has not sat down all week because that seat is so hot right now that he just doesn't want to sit down, and it's probably a smart move. It can't get any worse for Florida. You lost last week as an 18-point favorite. That in itself is inexcusable, but what makes it worse for him is he lost to in-state little brother South Florida. You don't lose to little brother. That's really ramped up, the hot seat for him. And we know that he's been on that for a couple years. He calmed the flames last year with a decent season, but he's right back there now. And the only thing I can figure and explain last week's performance is I think Florida got caught looking ahead to this game with LSU. Now, LSU was very unimpressive last week, but that really was to be expected. You've heard me talk about sandwich games and such, and that was a classic sandwich spot for LSU. They were coming off that opening week win against Clemson, and then they were playing Louisiana Tech. Come on. With this game on deck against Florida, they just went through the motions last week. But here's the problem for Florida. If they lose this game, they seriously can be looking at an 0-4 start, because after this game, they go to rival Florida next, followed by Texas after that. It just doesn't get any tougher for Florida. They've got to get this game set. And LSU, first two games, they have looked good. Their passing game is what's taken them here. But the concern I have with LSU is the running game. In 2 games so far, they've got just 234 yards rushing on 65 attempts. That's just 3.6 yards per play. Now, granted, one of those teams was Clemson, but as I said, the other team was Louisiana Tech. You're supposed to get right with your running game against a team like that. The last thing I'll say that is in Florida's favor, as bad as things have been for Billy Napier, the one area that he has been golden is when he is in the role of a conference underdog. His team is 17-7 against the spread when he's the head coach, and they are an underdog in conference play. I'm going to go ahead and get the redemption week for Florida Gators and Billy Napier. Let's call it, take the 7.5 points, but I'm calling it Florida 24-23 in a shocker.
Yeah, boy, I tell you what, if that happens, that other seat gets real hot down there in Louisiana, because it's all about family down there. So, boy. Oh, man, here we go. I love these games because when Marco throws them, it's all about cash and tickets. And a lot of people are going to call it an under the radar game, but we know where Marco's head's going to be at here. Washington State headed to North Texas.
North Texas, yeah. What, do they even have a football team? Okay. Yes, this is one of those spots where we've got 2 teams that are undefeated. Both are 2-0, going to do battle here. And one of the teams is a 6-point favorite, but it's not the bigger name. Now, obviously, Washington State's the orphan from the Pac-12, but when you come down to names, name recognition, obviously Washington State is the bigger name there than North Texas. So why am I looking at this one? Well, you know me. I love to look at scheduling situations, and this is an absolute horrible spot for Washington State. And I look at North Texas last week. They went on the road and barely escaped with a win at Western Michigan. It was a shootout, 33-30. They were a 12.5-point favorite in that game. I feel that North Texas was looking ahead and feeling a little fat and sassy, because the week before, North Texas played one of those in-state rivalry games. Now, normally, North Texas, when they're playing an in-state foe from the state of Texas, they are the little brother in that equation. They weren't in this one. They were playing Lamar, and they beat up on Lamar 51-0. So with coming off that win, going to Western Michigan, and having this game on deck, that excuses them, for me, on why they had the lackluster performance. But here's where it really gets good. It's Washington State's turn to be the fat and sassy team looking ahead. Washington State come off a blowout win last week over San Diego State, 36-13. San Diego State's not the team we've seen in recent years in the Mountain West Conference. They're down this year. So the fact that they rolled over them really doesn't impress me. And the fact, look at who is on deck for Washington State. I told you they're the orphan of the Pac-12. Well, they're playing a Pac-12 team next week, and they're playing the biggest one for them. Usually this game was always played Thanksgiving weekend. It was the Apple Cup. They are playing Big Brother Washington next week. Horrible spot for them. I'm going to take North Texas. I'm going to lay the 6. I know too many people are going to look and see Washington State and see those 6 points, and they're going to want to gobble it up. Wrong side. North Texas State, lay it. 38-23, North Texas.
Yeah!
Marco, one last game in college football for you, and it's one that for some reason is flying under the radar. It's on SEC Network as opposed to one of the big networks that everyone gets. It's Vandy at South Carolina. South Carolina, they struggled a little with Virginia Tech in their first game of the season, but it's a very, very good football team that Shane Beamer's got. As for Vandy, everyone knows the big talk from Diego Pavia this offseason. Vandy is a 4.5-point underdog. What do you like here?
Yeah, something just doesn't smell right in this game, and maybe that's why it has to be prime time. Because you look at this, and you've got a ranked team playing at home against an unranked team. Okay, and the line's only 4.5. That, the knee-jerk reaction, people are going to look at that top 25, and they see that. They're going to want to take South Carolina. But if you dig a little bit deeper and talk about flying under the radar, this Vanderbilt offense is playing very well. They are what I like to refer to. You'll hear me talk about teams, throughout the college season. I call them 200 club members. And what a 200 club member is a team that offensively rushes and passes for 200 or more yards per game. Why I like these teams is because teams with that kind of balance, what do you take away? If you're, setting up your defense and trying to game plan, if you take away the run, they're going to beat you on the pass. If you take away the pass, they're going to pound the football at you. So it makes it tougher to prepare game plans. I also look at this South Carolina team, and the passing game is just not working for them so far. Last week against South Carolina State, again, another one of those little brother in-state matchups, they were only able to go 11 of 20 in that game passing for a mere 128 yards. What's bailed this offense out for South Carolina so far has been the punting game. They have 3 punt returns for TDs this year. South Carolina's won 10 in a row in this series against Vanderbilt and is ranked, as I said, yet this is the smallest point spread we've seen in this series in the last 8 years. There's a reason. This one's going to come down to the wire. I think Vanderbilt's going to win it on a late field goal. I'm taking the 4.5 points with Vanderbilt, and I'm calling it Vandy 27-24.
Yeah, I love when we get into this mode of the week that we're in because we get sandwich and we get fat and sassy. I love it. We know where we're at now. Let's jump in the NFL. Don't have to wait too long. Amazon Prime night. And then the NFL is so overreactionary because I even said it. I think Green Bay is maybe the class of the NFC, but they're going to have to welcome the Commanders to Lambeau tonight.
You just said it, and we've got fat and sassy. You've got the class of the NFL. Did anybody look better than the Green Bay Packers last week? Thanks for the setup. Good tee job for me here. In week 2 in the NFL is that week that is, overreaction weekend. Both two, you're going to see one team that looks good and you're going to overreact to it, and you're also going to overreact to teams that look bad. Now, both teams came off of wins last week, but obviously when you look at the domination that Green Bay had over Detroit, because Detroit has owned the division for the last several years, and, coming in with that, high-flying, high-octane offense that we have of the Lions, and everybody is in love with the Green Bay Packers. Throw in that they just signed, Micah Parsons, the week of before the season started, and he played, significantly. I was shocked at how many plays that he did play last week, just getting there to Green Bay, and he had, the 1 sack. And people are going to look and just crown Green Bay the NFC North champion. Just pump the brakes for a little bit here. One of the things was they were playing a division rival last week in their home opener. So huge game, Edge playing at home. And let's be honest, as much as the defense looked good shutting down Detroit, there's 2 big factors that you got to remember here. First of all, Detroit lost their offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson. We don't know how much that's going to affect this team. If you overreact to 1 week, you're going to say, it's a big difference because they struggled. The other part of it is the quarterback, Jared Goff, he's not a mobile quarterback, okay? He's a stationary quarterback, pocket passer. So they were able to get pressure on him. Totally different type of quarterback they're facing this week with Jaden Daniels. Daniels can move, and if they don't get him on that, when they bring that pressure in that first containment, he breaks containment, look out. and he can extend plays. Also, fat and sassy. How satisfying of a win was that for the Green Bay Packers on Sunday? Now you got to turn around and come right back on, 3 days rest and play on a Thursday. It's tough on these Thursday games. And if you notice, usually they make the Thursday games division games because it's easier for the two teams to prepare on a short week for a team that you play twice a year. But whenever, or these type of games, you're playing a team that you're not familiar with, that's a disadvantage. So what I'm looking at is I'm going to look at the over in this game. I think everybody's going to take that knee-jerk reaction and say, because Green Bay shut down Detroit last week, they're going to do the same to Washington. This is a different animal, and they're not familiar with them. I think you're going to see a high-scoring game. I actually will give you, a second play here. I do lean to Washington plus the points in this game, but I think it's going to be a shootout. I think it's going to come down to the final possession of who's got the ball, and I think that's going to be Washington, and we're going over 48.5 in this one. The winning team's going to hit 30 in this one. Go over.
Yeah. Marco, in the NFL side of things as well, it was Aaron Rodgers last week. A huge performance against the Jets. He seemed to have a little bit of extra motivation for it. I mean, wanted to take down the team where he didn't go and look great. So that was an impressive performance. I know it was just Justin Fields, but Aaron Rodgers looked good nonetheless after a couple of years of people calling him washed. The Pittsburgh Steelers are taking on the Seattle Seahawks. Sam Darnold coming to town. Cooper Kupp, he's aging. But that's what we're looking at on Sunday. Pittsburgh is a 3-point home favorite against the Seahawks. What do you like?
All right, well, I said, are we going to drink the Kool-Aid, man? They are pouring it in pitcher form in Pittsburgh. I'm not chugging it, okay? And I said, last week, which, full disclosure, man, that was the perfect ending. The Steelers win by 2. I get the emotional win of the Steelers, and I get the cash with the Jets plus the 2.5 or 3, depending when you bet it during the week. So that was the perfect ending. I said coming into the season, the Steelers are going to be, overpriced. But I'm going to be honest here. This line smells. As good as Aaron Rodgers looked last week, and now they're coming back home for their home opener. Why are the Steelers only a 3-point favorite against Seattle, who lost last week at home as a home underdog? Okay, you were an underdog at home in a division game last week, and now you're only getting 3 on the road at Pittsburgh. In Aaron Rodgers looked like, the second coming. I mean, come on now. There's something smells here. And what nobody is talking about, because they're so infatuated about the 4 touchdowns that Aaron Rodgers had, you talked about Justin Fields, and I mentioned it last week that I thought Justin Fields would have a big game. I thought he had more to prove than Aaron Rodgers had to prove, and he did have a big game. That's a concern. The Steeler defense, which was supposed to be the strong side of this team coming into the season, gave up 32 points to the Justin Field-led Jets. That's a concern for me. I'm going to go ahead and take Seattle. Coming in, I said I'm going to fade Pittsburgh early in the season because they're going to be overrated. I am going to continue to fade them until I lose. Take Seattle plus 3, and I hate to say this, Seattle 20-17.
Yeah, all the Steelers fans just threw their towels in the trash. Can't wave them. Boy, that's another couple more games. Marco, appreciate your time as always. This is an interesting matchup I think got coming up. You got Rams. They're headed to Tennessee, and Cam Ward, I thought he looked okay last week. We'll see what that does. And the Rams escape a kind of a yucky win playing Arizona.
Yeah, and you talked about you like week 2 because we have some overreactions. We have some sandwich spots. This is a sandwich spot, okay? Tennessee, the offense struggled last week. They had to settle for 4 field goals. Situation, Cam Ward, he had some flashes of promise there, but what happens to rookie quarterbacks, especially number 1 quarterbacks, their first start never pans out. Okay, history has shown us that. And that's what ended up happening in Denver. But you got to look at the game, and at one point, in the fourth quarter. It was a 13-12 game, and Denver decided from their own 46-yard line to go on 4th and 1 instead of punting the ball away whenever, Tennessee hadn't been doing anything the entire game. They decided to go for it, and Tennessee stopped them. And I know there was a lot of people here in Las Vegas that had Denver on their survivor ticket that were sweating that one, because that would have taken out like a third of the field in week 1 had Denver not come through and got that win. But with that said, this play is as much against the Rams as it is taking Tennessee. I like Tennessee as a home underdog here. He did get that game under his belt, got to see game speed in the NFL. They'll make some adjustments. But you talk about the Rams, they eked out a win that they very easily could have lost last week. And this is a spot where they were lucky they got that win at home. But, yes, you get a win and move on. But look at who they play next week. They're going to have to play back-to-back games on the road. You're coming off your home opener. You get the win. Now you go on the road and play a team that, people consider to be one of the worst teams in the league coming into the season, obviously because they had the number 1 draft pick. They play Philadelphia next week. Okay, why is that game important? Do you remember who ended their season last year in a game that the Rams had a chance to win at the end after being down big and made that furious comeback? Yeah, I think the Rams get caught looking ahead. I think this line is too big as an overreaction to week 1. I'll take Tennessee plus the points here. I think this is going to be a low-scoring, ugly game. You got to give the Tennessee defense some credit last week. Bo Nix, they turned the ball over 4 times in that game. They played good defense. They held the Broncos to 20 points. And, oh, by the way, that Bronco defense is much better than the Rams defense. So I think things are going to be a little bit easier for Cam Ward this week. Let's take the points with Tennessee, 17-16 in an ugly one.
Yeah. Marco D'Angelo with us here, wagertalk.com. Marco, one last game for you. It might be the game of the weekend. It's not in prime time, but it's America's game of the week. The Kansas City Chiefs, they're looking to avoid falling to 0-2. They're hosting the defending champion Philadelphia Eagles. It's a Super Bowl rematch. The Eagles are 1-point road favorites against the Chiefs. What do you like?
Well, let's start with the obvious, and you said it is the Super Bowl rematch, and we talk about revenge all the time. Is there any bigger revenge than losing to the team in the Super Bowl and get to play them in week 2 the following year? So Kansas City obviously has been pointing to this game since the schedules came out. The problem with this one is both teams are coming off of hard-fought division games. Philly won theirs. Kansas City lost theirs. Making this one, it's only week 2, but this is a crucial game for Kansas City because we know the history, and everybody will be putting those stats out after this week, that when you start a season 0-2, how far the percentage drops of your chances of making the playoffs. So it's a huge game for Kansas City just in that regard. Then, of course, the obvious of the embarrassment of how they just got steamboat raced in the Super Bowl last year. My concern here for Kansas City is Justin Herbert, great quarterback, don't get me wrong, but he torched them last week, 25 of 34 for 304 yards. But what we've got going in Kansas City's favor is history has shown us with the Super Bowl winner. They win their Super Bowl. They generally have that first game at home. It's usually the Thursday night game and everything. You've got the banner unveiling and all of that. So it's a second party for that team. But then the following week, there's a little bit of letdown. Now, I'm not saying that they're going to be flat and they're going to look past, because this is a huge game. But I'm going to look at the numbers. Since 1986, the Super Bowl winner in week 2 is just 14-25 against the spread. And if they're a road favorite in that week 2 matchup, they're just 5-14 against the spread. So we've got history as a bad spot for Philadelphia. We've got the Kansas City revenge. We've got the Kansas City need not to go start the season 0-2. And then here's the final clincher for me, because I'll be honest with you guys, I was back and forth on this game all week of which way I was going to go. I'll be honest, I don't know that this game will get to my card for my clients, because it is a toss-up game. But Patrick Mahomes, in his career, the line right now is currently Philadelphia -1. When Patrick Mahomes is either a pick'em or an underdog, his record against the spread as the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs is an astonishing 17-2 against the spread. Let's go with Kansas City 24-20.
Yeah, I was hoping they'd go 0-2.
As a Broncos fan, me too.
Yeah, you're speaking poetry to Elijah.
I'm rooting for the Eagles, and I'm rooting for Bo Nix to look less like Mo Picks.
Oh, Marco, great stuff, man. Thanks for the time as always. Again, Marco D'Angelo, wagertalk.com. Also, there's that show that you guys do. If you need any, I can't tell you guys enough just to go there and just watch the show, first of all, but then get all the other great content that you guys deliver.
Absolutely. Bet on it's out. We've got both the college edition and the NFL edition. And as I did last year, brought it back this year. We had the first edition of it last week. Marco's Deli, if you like those sandwich shops, plays, the sandwich games and trap games that I do a second video where we go a little deeper with some of the games that were considered for the Bet on it show that I didn't use. I use on Marco's Deli. And we had 5 games on the show last week. We went 4-1 with them, and that show comes out late on Thursdays, early Friday morning.
So Marco D'Angelo with us here. And Marco, good luck to all your plays this weekend. And not to look ahead, but some Husker fans are. Next time we talk to you, I think we'll be getting a little preview of Nebraska and Michigan. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, this week's game, there was nothing really to talk about.
No, it wasn't. But next week's the big one.
All right, guys, and you know the drill. Let's cash some tickets.
Thanks, Marco. Appreciate you.
Take care.
Marco D'Angelo, wagertalk.com. Great stuff from him. Again, if you missed any of that, all that, most of the segment, part of it, you can go to YouTube afterwards, pick that segment back up. We'll have it up there for you. Let's take a break and come back. Let's look at the NFL slate. Let's kind of talk about some games that are interesting to us and you guys as well. Yeah.
God, I finally got the sound effects sounding right too.
Yeah, I was going to mention in the middle of that, like the cha-ching.
Sound.
Viva Las Vegas. Yes.
Marco. I made that. I made that during Marco's first pick. I was up against the clock. I was like, I'm gonna get this right.
Yeah.
So I gotta get that saved so I don't lose it. That sounds like a problem for after the show.
Always rest my throat to make sure I can do that on a Thursday. Yeah. I drink more water on Thursdays.
I need to drink more water. Justice always walks around here with his gallon of water, and it makes me feel like I'm insignificant. Like I need to do more.
You have jug envy?
A little bit. He's got that big jug energy.
He does. Hopefully he's drinking it today.
I gotta find
NFL. That's not what I want. I'm over here. Thinking of a song?
Yeah.
What is going on around my house today? Oh, that's what's all right. You'll have tomorrow. You'll get yourself, Few Malone. Few Malone is sitting in for myself tomorrow. Is it bad that I'm not excited about being gone tomorrow?
I mean,
I'm on a golf course, but it's a scramble, and I'm not excited about it. Kind of, not really. It'll be fun. I'll be hanging out with some buddies.
Where is this at?
I won't tell you where I'm playing at because I don't want to dog the great public golf courses that we have in our city.
Dog away.
But I will. The one part about this is that I will get to see and hang out for a few hours with one Will Wilson.
That'll be fun.
I've not seen him. I got a picture from him. Well, not from him. Coriel was hanging out and happened to be in an area where Will Wilson was. I got a picture of him. They both looked like they had a few.
Okay, we're coming back.
Here we go. Welcome back in the morning hookup. Special thanks here to Marco D'Angelo, WagerTalk.com. Like I said, if you missed any of that, portions or whatever, we'll have it up on YouTube after the show. You can go rewatch it. This song, I get up in the mornings and I watch documentaries when the kids are still asleep and stuff. I'm about halfway through because I don't have a lot of time because I'm hitting sports real quick and I just jump in. On Netflix, there's a new Charlie Sheen documentary. I think it's 2-parter. I did not realize, I guess you missed moments in time, how popular he was in a moment. And the stuff you learn about this documentary and how wild his life was.
Yeah.
But how I can't imagine the pressure with his family, with his dad. Then you had his brother, all in the business. It's interesting if you are up and you just have like a spare couple hours, because I think they're 1 hour episodes. It's interesting enough. I learned something. Again, I'm only halfway through the first one. But it's interesting of like the role, one of the movie roles that he was slated for, but he asked them to say, hey, I can't be there for 2 weeks. And they said, we're moving on.
I was just introducing last night my roommates to Major League. It was on TV.
I think I'm going to throw up.
Yeah.
Introducing them to that movie.
Mm-hmm.
That is my favorite movie of all time.
Well,
my family will not watch it with me based on the fact that I repeat every single line.
Well, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is probably the best sports comedy ever made. Like, it's a comedy. Seems like an underdog sports story. I'm like, okay, this is why you need to watch. That's what makes it special. Is it's both an underdog sports story and a comedy at the same time. You don't get movies
It's an
like
amazing movie.
It is.
I could watch it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime it's on. Like that's one of those, if you're cruising the TV, like, I don't know what to watch. You're like, oh, that's on. Turn it on.
So it was last night.
I don't care.
I remember Alex is like, oh, what's this? I'm like, what?
It gives you the heebies, right? You're like, what? Greg said, how can you not be excited for a scramble probably playing in the Applejack in Nebraska City? No. I'm excited for the company that I'm going to hang out with. Okay? I didn't mean to say, like, I'm going to be out on the golf course having fun, right? It's for kids baseball club team, select team. We'll be out there doing that. Ernesto said, we'll always look like he had a few.
This is true.
NFL tonight. We got the game tonight.
Yeah,
and we're excited to watch
always
that.
Excited. It's hard to not get excited for an NFL slate this weekend. It should be solid.
Well, they just NFL, just like that. They know how to schedule these things. They schedule out. You start looking at some of the games that I think are just some interesting matchups, man. I don't know. Is there one? Obviously, you'll be watching your Broncos, Colts. Colts coming off a nice performance. Daniel Jones. I know it's not the Bronco defense, but Broncos got to go to Indy, get inside there.
I'd be surprised if Indy scores 10 points. Can I say that?
Yeah, I like it. Broncos are 1.5 point favorites.
That's not enough points
on the road.
I got the Broncos winning this game like 21-10. Mm-hmm. I would be surprised if the Colts have a banner offense. I'd be surprised if anyone aside from the Broncos play the Eagles this year. Eagles and Chiefs are the only two teams. I guess the Bengals too, that I think are going to have decent offensive days against this Broncos defense. They're that good. They
looked stellar. They did. They look stellar. You've got some other nice ones. Some teams trying to get back on the right track. Bears, they're headed to Detroit. Bears, we know, coming off a I don't know, like a early season moral debacle, losing that game as the Vikings came back. Detroit had to go and have that tough first game against that. What is Detroit? Can they bounce back? What's the coordinator's situation look like as they get back in the flow of the offense? That's a sneaky good game, I think.
I think there are some, obviously, The Chiefs and Eagles game is going to steal all the headlines. That's a great game. There's some sneaky good games this weekend. Unfortunately, I have no interest almost whatsoever in Sunday night football. I think Monday night's solid, but we got to watch the Vikings again in prime time.
Sunday night, that was awful.
And then Atlanta looked all right. It doesn't move the needle for me.
Kirk Cousins returning back to Minnesota as a backup.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't have storylines. We already got to see JJ McCarthy once in prime time. Yeah, it doesn't move the needle. Tampa Bay at Houston on Monday Night Football, I think is fun.
That's solid.
Then you have divisional matchup, Chargers and Raiders, Monday night.
It.
Great game.
I like it. Out at the Death Star there.
That's a good primetime game. Commanders, Packers tonight is a fantastic game. I wish it wasn't Thursday Night Football, but I'll watch it nonetheless.
I'll be watching. I don't know. There's some other lines out there you look at, maybe not as popular to watch, but Patriots, Dolphins. What are the Dolphins going to do?
Sneaky.
What's their response going to be?
Sneaky game, Bills at Jets.
Yes.
People are going to look at the Jets and be like, that's sneaky good.
Yep.
I think the Jets might give the Bills a run for their money in that game. They're at home, and I think despite the fact they lost, there's some encouraging things you can build off of from that performance last weekend.
A game that probably has I think a game that you'll watch. It's a divisional game as well that have implications of who's the quarterback going to be going forward. Giants, Cowboys.
Okay, so
what's going to happen after that? Because we're supposed to go in there as 4.5-point underdogs. By the way,
in a similar light, sneaky good divisional, Browns at Ravens.
Yep,
that's very sneaky. Joe Flacco, they gave the Bengals all they could handle last weekend. Now the Bengals traditionally suck in week one, so maybe it shouldn't have been a surprise.
Is there any doubt that the yuckiest game on the slate this week is Niners Saints? Brock Purdy probably out.
With the Niners as hurt as they are.
Kittle, no Jennings, and is it Spencer Rattler at quarterback?
That's a pretty yucky game. Panthers at Cardinals is pretty yucky as well.
Yeah,
that's not a fun one. The 3:00 slate is.
I'm also in the one like I don't know if Rams Titans move it for me either. Maybe to watch Cam Ward.
I got to see Cam Ward last week. I think he's going to be good. I think he's got a better chance to build some confidence here. Rams by 5.5 is probably too many points. That's a bit of an overreaction, I think, to Cam Ward in week one.
Yeah. Marco told you, take the points. So
But
like 17-16, you said.
The line I hate, though, if I was looking here, Ravens 11.5.
That's a lot of
That's
points.
a lot of freaking points.
But now
for
that
the
offense
NFL.
is super explosive.
That's just a lot of points.
So it's a lot. I mean, anytime you get in the NFL and you see double digit, it feels like a lot of points. You have to go back to when, like, don't know what year it was when the Patriots were on that huge dynamic. They were double digit favorites every single week and winning by double digits. NFL lines in double digits, even getting to the 8-9 mark, make people nervous.
Mm-hmm. Is there, and we'll probably get into this a little bit more tomorrow, but while we're here, circle one game, one line. What is Hooksy's best bet of the weekend?
Best bet of the weekend. Let me look here right quick. Here it is. I think this is it. I think this is, I know it's going to, but Bengals. I think the Bengals might beat the Jags by 2 touchdowns at home. Jacksonville's still trying to navigate their way through things. That offense, Bengals offense, is really stinking good. I would go. I'd be laying some dough on some Bengals this week at home.
Okay, despite how bad they played last weekend.
Yep. I
Okay,
just think
you
that's
think
a reaction. That's an overreaction. That offense is really stinking good. The numbers they put up last year, I don't know. And I think if they get humming, my prediction is they would do that at home. First back there, get it going. And I don't know if they get into a shootout. I don't know if the Jags can keep up with the scoring that the Bengals could do.
My best bet, I am biased, I'll admit. Broncos 1.5 point favorites against the Colts. I think that is
love that. That's I like that.
That is a major overreaction to what the Colts did against the Dolphins. And I think the Dolphins have a problem. I think they have a culture, the leadership.
Well, they got a major, especially
they got a major problem. And I'm surprised to see the Dolphins as 1.5 point favorite against the Patriots, by the way. Maybe it's extra motivation with as bad as you played last week to bounce back. But I think there's a reaction to how bad the Broncos offense looked and how good the Colts looked against the Dolphins. I know the Broncos are on the road, but 1.5 points does not feel like enough to me. If that line was
3.5,
3.5, I'd be like, okay, you know what? That's about right.
Mm-hmm.
1.5 doesn't feel like enough points.
A lot of fun in the NFL coming up. and a lot of predictions out there. So let's take our final break, and we'll come back and do some stories that we missed. A lot of predictions. Boy, there's a report out there. It's probably not a part of the story of this, but NFL-wise, boy, the report of how many weeks they think Purdy could miss.
The 49ers might be in trouble. Kittle's on the IR. Purdy might be out for a while. Their offense is now Ricky Pearsall and Christian McCaffrey.
My gosh. I saw this stat too, by the way, and it goes to Jane Daniels. There's only been one quarterback. Washington quarterback. That's the last time. How many years has it been since a Washington quarterback won in Lambeau?
It's probably been a long time.
40 years.
Theismann?
Jay Schrader, 1986.
Who?
Jay Schrader.
Who? Who?
Yep. I remember the name, but
I could not tell you who the heck that guy is.
I was 9. No, I can't remember the game, but I know the name of Jay Schrader. Excuse me. Yuck. The worst stuff going on. What is going on? What is that day? I forgot it was that day. Danny Dimes in trouble. Randy 40 says he's in trouble. He is in trouble.
That Broncos defense is scary.
Do you want to start Spencer Rattler or Mac Jones? What year was the Patriot on that huge guy every single weekend? What up, Justin? Ernesto, simple.
We're coming back.
Jags. Welcome back in the morning hookup. A few moments left. Thanks for hanging out with us on a Thursday. I think it's chilly tonight.
Ooh.
I got a mission now.
Chili comes to what you gotta let it simmer for a bit, but it comes together pretty quick.
Oh yeah. We'll get we'll do it. Like we'll have a predicted time of what we're gonna eat or when, which is typical nights because my family's all over the place typically. They're like, hey, we're eating about this time. It gives me the back, and then I can back into the time.
I do always feel bad for my roommates because I'm not ever getting home until post 7 p.m. around here. So by the time I get started on dinner, it's like, hey,
they can't eat without you.
Yeah, they can, but like it's tough whenever it's like, hey, you can go figure out your own dinner, but I got a better dinner coming later.
So they're waiting. So you've trained it. You're classically trained.
No offense to my roommates, but they ain't cooking when I'm cooking.
Classically trained.
So yeah, it's like, hey guys, dinner's ready. And it's 9:30. So sometimes I feel a little bit bad about that, but also they're getting a free dinner out of it. So.
Yeah. All right, let's rock it. A couple stories that we missed.
The stories we missed. The morning hookup.
Paul Skeens yesterday. See what he did? He got to 200 strikeouts. But they're also managing his load right now. Did you see that as well?
Mm-mm.
Paul Skeens yesterday reached a 200 strikeout mark. He just played. It was just 5 innings, by the way. 64 pitches. Cut it out. You're out. They're already looking ahead. Boy, by the way, he's overcoming now. He's like 1.92 ERA over 178 innings, by the way. He's been pretty good. And I think he has a winning record now. Last thing I saw was like 10-9. Yesterday was another no decision for him. But it's over 200. 8 batters in 5 innings and 64 pitches. I just read that line. Oh, my gosh. That's pretty good.
Huxley, I'm not sure we talked about this, but we've spent enough time talking here at the Broncos. How about a new stadium? And what I think is cool about this.
Who's got a new stadium?
The Broncos.
The Broncos? Why do people want to mess up good things?
It's because, the Walmart family owns
yeah.
the Broncos, so they got money for days. They are doing the stadium, and why I think this is cool. 0 taxpayer dollars.
Ooh,
they are
wow.
fully privately funding.
That's incredible.
Likely multi-billion-dollar stadium.
That's incredible. Happy Walmart.
Which, hey, whenever you have some of the richest owners in sports, which all owners in sports are rich, it's tough to see like these really rich owners being like, and we want the city taxpayers, the average Joes, to pay 50% of this stadium. It's like, are you kidding me?
Wow.
Your family's worth $10 billion.
Just write the check.
Yeah. So the Broncos' new stadium, and that's what I'll say. Like the Broncos did not need a new stadium, so I'm glad they're not going to the taxpayer trying to get this funded. But only a mile from the current stadium.
Okay,
which is great. I hate stadiums that move out to the suburbs. They're not moving out to the suburbs.
Well, I like when they change the dynamic in the pageantry of what they have.
Yes, and a big thing that Broncos fans want is if you're in Denver, your stadium's got to have a view of the mountains. It's got to have a view of those beautiful Colorado sunsets.
Why do you go to Colorado?
The mountains. So what they're doing is they're building the stadium because they want to have a year-round venue, and everyone wants to have that mixed-use development. But they are going to be having a retractable dome, they're calling it a state-of-the-art type retractable dome. So early in the season, you get those beautiful views of the mountains,
and then go.
And then once the weather starts becoming a factor, right, close up the dome, make sure it's a great place to play football, and they want to host a Super Bowl. Have some wintertime concerts, make it a year-round venue.
They're thinking ahead, and I like every bit of it.
But I love the fact that they are not making the taxpayers pay for it. So that's great.
Speaking of that, did you see? I mean, you want us to talk about Houston Christian? We'll talk about them. Did you see their thing with their stadium?
It's got a CVS instead of a way stands. It's crazy.
They're trying to negotiate them out of their lease so they'll leave. I mean, what happens if you need Band-Aids at halftime? Right? They have a CVS.
I was thinking
that's blocking them from building stands.
I was thinking earlier, I want to get the manager of that CVS on one of these shows here on KFOR. Let's talk to the manager at CVS. What's it like?
What's it
managing
like?
A CVS?
I don't know. It's like built-in revenue. It feels like.
Apparently, it's one of the most.
You forgot the Gatorade? We got you.
Apparently, it's one of the most robbed CVS pharmacies in all of Houston.
Is it really? Wow. Well, it's like I don't know. That's weird, but I don't know. They got all your last-minute shopping deals. Guys, what are you doing at halftime? Well, I'm going to walk over to the CVS and grab a snack. I forgot the sunscreen. I forgot my chapstick. Greg says, Elijah, the real question is have you picked out the candle for your out for dinner?
No, haven't yet. I have an ocean mist at home. I did not make it myself, but I might let that one up.
Justin, great idea. Hooksy puts crown in his chili. Should. Ryan 40, I want you to pull the cut that I said manages load. And Walmart owners on your favorite team.
Yeah. Before you get out of here, Huxley, I need the prediction. What's your scramble team shooting tomorrow?
14.
14 under?
No, 12.
The story.
12.
Oh, wait,
that's the story that we probably should miss. 12.
12 under, okay.
Will's going to be the bomber.
And then you're going to be a mid-irons? You're mid-irons,
yeah,
aren't you?
I'll putt, man. I like hitting my irons a lot, but we'll let the young bucks unleash. Because there's probably 3 dudes that are in their mid-40s or later. So you guys are awesome. Thanks for hanging out with us on a Thursday. Tomorrow, you'll have Elijah, Hugh, Dr. Dane Todd, the Almanac, a whole lot more. Enjoy your Thursday. Catch you on a Friday.